Hello everyone. Let's begin our lecture today. Now this is going to be based on programming languages. As you can see in this given slide, there are a list of various computer programming languages, and you can select as per your requirement, as per the application, that which language is desirable to write your code. Okay, now I hope you remember the meaning of code. In my previous lecture, I've already mentioned what programming is all about, what coding is all about. I had explained through the step-by-step procedure that how exactly do you start writing a code. Okay, so now an important part of writing a code is selection of the programming language. So as you can see over here, there is a variety of programming languages which is available these days. To just brief you about this programming languages, now basically the programming languages can be bifurcated or can be divided into two categories. The first one is called procedure-oriented language, and the second one is called object-oriented language. Okay, so this is procedure-oriented language and this is object-oriented language. All right. Now, these programming languages, procedure means for the time being, since you have no knowledge about the programming language, we will not discuss the differences in detail, but at least a very small difference, a very common difference that you should be knowing about these two. Here, it follows a procedure. It just goes in a step-by-step manner, step by step, one after the other, and all the instructions are executed. So the entire program is considered as a set of procedures. Okay, whereas in case of object oriented programming language, now here a specific term object needs to be defined for your program, and then the program is divided into modules based on the objects. So at present, only this much is clear for you, this much should be sufficient for you, that the object-oriented programming languages are more feature-oriented. These are according to the latest techniques which all are available. So it has a number of features which are not present in case of procedure-oriented language. And whereas whatever is present in procedure-oriented language is definitely a part of object-oriented programming language. Okay, so it is always worthy to start learning an object-oriented programming language. So these are a few examples of which are here in front of you. Now over here, the C language is a procedure-oriented programming language, and C++, Python, Java, all these three are object-oriented programming languages. Okay, Pascal is another procedure-oriented programming language, and all these are very general purpose used programming languages, which you will just learn about with due course of time. Now, let's proceed to the next slide, wherein just going to brief you about the uses. Okay, this is actually the application part of the various programming languages. The application part of the various programming languages. Okay, now we have the main programming languages that we are going to cover in over here. This is Java for you. Next is Python, C++, Swift, JavaScript, and C hash. Okay, now definitely these languages, these terms, you must be aware about if you are a regular net surfer and you wish to know about the latest languages which are available, which you can learn, then definitely these terms, these languages, the names of these programming languages is definitely not new for you. Let's begin our discussion with C++ programming because I've brought this course basically at present for C++ only. So this is your C++, the first one. The applications go like this. The first that you can do is games. All the interactive games, the 3D games and all that you know of, all the interactive games, they are designed using the C++ concepts. Next, you have GUI apps. Now, I hope this term GUI is very clear to everyone. GUI means graphical user interface. That means the use of the mouse, okay, simply the use of mouse. So interface is actually a medium through which you can interact, okay. There is something in between the user and the machine. So this side we have the machine, and this side, let me explain you this particular concept over here. Okay, so it's something like you have the machine this side, that is your computer, and you are the user. So, who is actually over here the mediator in between? So, this mediator, this is your graphical user interface. So, interface means the mediator. So, if it is allowing you to use the graphics, that means the simple use of your mouse, the clicking of the mouse. This makes the task very simple. The other one, which is the counterpart of this GUI, is called CUI, wherein you have to use the keyboard to type in the commands. Okay, you have to use the keyboard to type your commands, and this is how you interact with the machine. This is also a user interface, but this is a command user interface. Okay, you have to keep on giving commands to the computer using the keyboard. All right, so definitely now you will find that GUI is better. So we were here. Next, we have the database apps. Okay, so GUI based apps. Now, app is also another term which is very commonly used these days. And I know, or I should expect that you all are aware of the term app. App is the short form for application. So anything which can be applied, okay, all the ready-made apps which are available these days. So you know how simple the task becomes. Okay, so here we are going to deal with the app designing. So if you need to design the apps, the graphical user interface apps, so you can make use of the C++ language. Next, just to list a few more, you have the database applications, you have operations system, the embedded systems. Now, embedded systems, again, this term should be clear to you. Embedded means if you can understand, if you have the example of let's say the digital watches. Okay, the digital watches have a small mini computer, you can say a microcomputer, which is there embedded inside your device. So, to make your task simplified, the smart watches and all that we have these days. So, all these will come under embedded systems. The programming which is there inside the embedded system is done using C++. Next, let's talk about Python. Now, Python is like in demand, it is the language of today. Okay, so what is it used for? For the web applications, all kind of website designing and all is done using Python. This is also an object-oriented programming. C++ was also an object-oriented programming. So we have the web applications, the game development. Okay, again, the game development was common here also. Machine learning. Now, machine learning has something very, very important to do with the computer machine. Learning the language of how the computer deals with the data. All right. Then we have the data visualization, visualizing data and then you're applying it, the data science. All these are the terms which are in use these days. The latest technologies of the applications and all are based on these particular terms. And these terms can be learned under Python. So if you have a knowledge of Python programming, then definitely you'll have an idea about what all is here inside these three. Similarly, we'll discuss about the next object-oriented programming language over here, that is Java. It has certain Android applications which can be designed, the video games, the server-side applications. Now, the server-side applications, you remember the client and the server. So, the server-side applications can be designed using Java. Next, just to count a few more, we have Swift, then we have the JavaScript and C hash. So you can just read from here a very similar kind of applications actually, in fact, and certain specific applications also which are required for all of these. So it's up to you now to decide which programming language you should select. Thank you.